says we need to buy out the truck's lease or give it back. How are we gonna run a business without a truck?
We can't.
So let's figure out a plan to keep you guys on the road.
Coffee, Craig? Thank you.
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank.
Whole thing in a nutshell. Now I've got this whole thing set up. It's ready to go. Okay? And all I have to do is set my speed, my power, and my layers here. And it's good. Now if you want to learn how to do the crosshatch, I'll put a link down below. I'll put one up top. And, you know, link you to the other video to show you how to do the relief and the crosshatch and all that. That's not what this video is about today. This video is about just setting up the template for your company. Okay? So now for part 2 of this, we've run this job. Okay? So now we've gone over to the laser, we've run this job, and we're ready to do the other side. So at this point we would save this file and give it a name. So let's just do save, and we're already in Lightroom templates over here, and so we're just going to call this one we'll call it coin 1. Let's say coin 1 sounds good, and we'll say save. Okay, now this template is here forever. You'd never have to change this again. Just open it and run it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to save this again slightly differently. We're going to do save as this time. And now we're going to call this one, let's say coin 2, you know, or whatever you want to call it, coin back. So now we have a completely new file loaded here with all of the same parameters as the first one. Okay? Now the only difference is this line is no longer needed. So we do not need to cut anything this time. So what we can do, you can either come over here to the layers and delete the cut and say yes, and you can do that, or that will not do it virtually. So to do it virtually, what we'll do is just select the layer and put it onto a toolpath, and there we go. So now there will be no cut. Now at this point, what you would do is select the graphic and delete it. Now it seems to be working, right? We can select the My Business and delete that. Maybe we would leave that there, you know. And then all you would do here is, you know, fill this part out. So, you know, let me take the caps lock off. My Business, B-U-S-I-N-E-S-S. There we go. I can't see what that says. Let me put that on the black layer. Let me select this and put it on the black layer. There we go. Now I can see what it says. Good, good, good. All right, so we got My Business, and we'll do, you know, My Business, B-U-S-I-N 101 Main Street. You get the idea. Anywhere USA. And maybe we'll put in a 485, whatever. Phone number is wrong. I'm going to select that, bring it down here, snap it to the middle like that. Let's see if we have it in the middle with that selected. We want it to line up with this circle. So we will bullseye that. It was not in the middle. It sort of looked like it was. And we can put that into, and you know, you just finish your design here. And now I'm noticing that it also did not array the text that we just did. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Just come down here to the array tool, and I think it was 6 and 7 again, like that. And now we have it everywhere in all of our design. So this is ready to go. And if you like, we can come up here and take a quick preview, and you can see that it is ready. All right, so we got it done. That's the whole design right there. Now what we're going to do, we already have it loaded as coin 2. Remember, we made the second side file earlier, so we just have to hit the little save floppy disk up here. And now we have this saved forever, and it's ready to go. So now the only thing left to do is set your layers, and you know, you're good to go. So set your engrave layer to whatever it is that your machine will engrave this at, and it's all finished. That's just how easy it is to do this. Now, I try and go as slow as I possibly can through here, so so that you won't miss any steps when you do it yourself. But setting this up, when you're doing this for yourself, this shouldn't take you more than 5 minutes to do this whole design. So it's really, really simple, really easy to do. All right, so there you have it. That's just how easy it is to get this done. And just to go back over it one more time, and I know sometimes I get redundant in these videos, but you can quit now if you want to, if you don't want to hear me ramble on. But I just want to reiterate the importance of giving someone something that you've made, rather than just giving them a paper business card. You're giving them an actual little piece of art that you've made yourself. And you don't necessarily have to make a coin. It doesn't have to be a 2-inch coin. You can do a standard business card out of wood. Get some 2mm wood. I wouldn't go any thicker than 2mm. It would just be a waste of money. You can get some really nice 2mm clear, like basswood or whitewood, something like that. And just run off a bunch of these. You can make them business card size. You can put your little picture on there if you want, and engrave both sides. It's something that that was made by someone. A little work of art that you're giving out. You're not just giving out a paper business card, and it doesn't cost that much more to do this. So keep that in mind. Now, with these craft shows, even if you attend a craft show, if you're not, a vendor there, bring these cards with you and pass them out to some of the other vendors where you might be able to do some wholesale work for them. I do some wholesale work for other people. I do earrings, and, I do several different wholesale pieces for people that do crafts. And they take the pieces that I make, and then they redesign them with, paints and sparklies and things like that. So you might be of help to some of these other vendors. Perhaps they're doing woodworking, and maybe they need to engrave their logo on their pieces. Hand them one of these business cards. They're going to be quite impressed by it. I can tell you that much. And like I said earlier, they're not going to throw it away. You're not going to go past the trash bin and find your business card in the trash bin like you will everyone else's. Go to any craft show, like I said, look in that trash bin, and you're going to see all the paper business cards, and all the flyers are going to be in there. And you don't want that to happen to yours. And with these business cards, with these homemade business cards that you're going to make, it's not going to happen. People are going to pocket them. I particularly like the coins because people are so used to pocketing coins. So that's why I go with the coin shape. The rectangular business card might not be as easy to pocket, so that's why I stick to the circular coin. And people love these coins. There's coins for all kinds of occasions now. So yeah, I mean, get involved in this one. Make your own coins. I'm sorry I can't give everyone their own individualized template, but sharing a template with you is redundant, because you're going to have to completely break it down and make it into your own anyway. So it makes no difference whatsoever. And like I said earlier in the video, I'll put, if you haven't seen my other video on making these coins, I'll put a link down below where you can, and there's also going to be a card right up here where you can just click on that, and you can go watch the other video and see exactly how to make the coin whatever way you want, working with the layers and so forth. But this video was focused specifically on just setting up your template so that you can burn your coins. And once you've done it, the video may have taken a little while to get through, but it really only takes a few minutes to make the template. And once you get the hang of making a template like this, any other project you'll have in the future, you won't need a video. you know, you've already done it. You can come back, you can redo it again from memory, and you can knock out this template. And I can knock out this template in under 5 minutes. I can tell you that, both of them, both sides. So, you know, I go extra slow because I want everybody to see everything step by step. So that's the reason I go extra slow. But you don't have to. So anyway, I hope this answers the questions that everybody's been asking me. You know, can I get a copy of your template? Can you show us how to make a template? Man, I've just gotten so many inquiries. I'm getting messages in Messenger and emails and text messages and everything else. So I hope this answers that question today. And I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. So, as always, I thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Need to find the perfect gift? Maybe for an engagement, or even an anniversary, or how about a birthday? Well, don't panic. Gift Mode on Etsy is here to take the stress out of gifting. Now, with just a few taps, it's easy to find incredible gifts made by independent sellers for anyone and any occasion. With new features making gifting fun for both the gifter and the recipient. So no matter who you're looking for or what you're celebrating, shop Gift Mode now, new and on Etsy.
No, mine's bigger.
I don't care what you say, mine's bigger.
No, I don't agree. Mine's, I'm telling you that mine's bigger. Oh, we're live. We're live. Hey, everybody.
We might just have to take a poll.
Patrick, mine's bigger. I'm telling you.
No,
Let's
no.
stop the argument right now, because I'm telling you that mine's bigger. We'll let everybody figure it out themselves.
Mine's bigger.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Patrick.
How's it going? How's it going?
Unscheduled live stream here that we put together in just an hour or so. And it appears that everybody that
Mine's
I know...
bigger.
Mine is bigger. Mine's bigger.
No.
No,
I think
mine's
mine
bigger.
is.
Mine's bigger. Well, anyway, to get back to what I was saying, it appears that everybody that I know that's ordered the Lasermatic 20 got it today, and so did Patrick and I, and Steve, the hobo with wood. Unfortunately, Steve can't be here with us tonight, but Patrick decided that we're going to do an unboxing. And while you tell them about that, I have to turn on a different mic because this mic's not going to work to unbox over there. So go ahead and tell them about it, Patrick.
Well, I like to do unboxing videos on my channel, and I was told Rich I was going to do one, and then after a little conversing, we decided that we would just do a dueling unboxing video, and he could unbox his, I'll unbox mine, and we'll see whose is better and which one's faster. And obviously that's a joke. But I have mine set up right there.
Hey, before we go any further, there is one thing that I wanted to say before we get started tonight, and that is tomorrow is Chicago Bob's birthday. So happy birthday, Bob. He's 65 years young tomorrow, and he didn't think he was going to make it this far. So everybody say happy birthday to Bob, Chicago Bob.
Happy birthday, Chicago Bob.
All right.
So, as you guys could see there on that quick shot, this thing does come in 2 boxes. So there is a box A and a box B. Box A is labeled Box A, and it also says, right here on the top, right beside my unboxing knife,
Right next to
Yes,
my
sir.
big unboxing knife.
Yes, my bigger unboxing knife. The laser module, power supply, air assist pump, and rotary ordered along with the other items are in box B. So that is very cool that Broly put that on the box. And on box B, it says the machine frame and honeycomb table are in box A. So you know exactly what's in what box. And as Rich pointed out a little bit ago, branded boxes too.
Yep, and folks, you got to be careful with these too, because that big box is 49 pounds, it says on it, and it's about 30 by 30 and maybe close to 18 inches tall, so it is really awkward. And it does say right on the box, you know, 2-man team lift. So if you can, make sure that you have somebody helping you to move this around. I didn't today, and somehow I got it in here, but hopefully I'll I'll be able to get this over on the bench. If you notice behind me, the bench is empty. No Lasermatic 10, no Lasermatic 20. So I'm all prepared, right back there, all prepared and ready to get this thing going. And tonight we're going to do some sample burning as well. But don't expect me to have the settings yet, even though I know you've been seeing a Lasermatic 20 back there for a while now. That was the beta version. It did not have the same module as this one does. The final version's module is more powerful by about 10 or 15%. So I don't have a library made for it today, and I'm just going to run the first material test to get an idea, and we'll go from there. Patrick, you ready to get started?
Yep, I like to shoot from the hip, so I'll be good when it comes to settings. I just make stuff up and go.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That's what we're going to be doing tonight. We're going to be just making it up as we go. So, Patrick, what do you want to start with? The little box or the big box?
I don't know, should we do like Christmas and start with the small gifts first?
Oh, wait, you know what? You know, we're making fun of these unboxing knives, but I got to tell you all something, that this is not really my unboxing knife. Well, it is now. Let me make my screen bigger here. This knife, this unboxing, this god-awful large hunting knife, Bowie knife, came from Patrick. And he sent this to me as a gift. And I got to tell you, folks, that this thing is incredible. Look at that. Unboxing knife, Louisiana hobby guy, and I got to get that shine off of it. I can't get it off of there, but it says, there we go, for Rich from Patrick. Isn't that beautiful? This is really beautiful, and then it's got a little secret compartment in here, and he also engraved Light Source Engraving logo on here on the cap, on the side there. Now, I am afraid to touch this sometimes because it is so darn sharp. I mean, just touching it almost cuts you. So, you know, we have to be extreme with our unboxing night. Patrick, thank you so much for this. I really
You're
can't tell you
welcome.
how much I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I enjoyed making it.
So with that said, now, which box did you want to start with?
Want to go with the small box?
We can do that.
I
We
don't
can do
care. Unless there are any
that. Now,
comments.
you've already
otherwise.
ruined the surprise by telling them what's in the box. So, but let's just see anyway.
Well, I was.
For all you people that just got yours today, that's what this stream is about. So you can get an idea of how this unboxing goes.
That is some thick tape.
This is some really tough tape on here.
Yeah, it was. I'm surprised.
But, you know, your knife isn't quite as good as mine, so you're going to have a hard time with
I
it.
don't think it's as sharp as yours. I'll give you that much.
Oh, let me tell you, that knife is sharp. Okay, so we have boxes inside of a box. And what I'm going to do is flip mine over. And get rid of this. Just throw it over there for now.
There's Chuck. Chuck has made an appearance.
Yes, we have a Chuck roller. Yay! Finally! Everybody's been asking for that. Oh, back to the knife.
And we also have our laser module and air assist in the other box.
Oh, look how pretty that is. All those parts in there. There is the owner's manual, which, you know, any Lasermatic owner is going to tell you they've come to love. There's no other laser company that I've seen so far that has got a manual this good. And I've got my starter practice material. There is the practice material. And then we've got some important items in this box.
Yeah, this is the box you do not want to lose.
I like this. You know, you also won't see quality like this in other machines. This metal style exhaust hose, which I don't particularly have a need for. Here's the laser module.
I do too.
And then on the side is your 10-20 watt switch right there to switch between them. There have been some upgrades from the Lasermatic 10 on the bottom of this, so that it's very simple to just take the cover off and clean the lens. It's not as hard as with the Lasermatic 10.
I like the plug that's on the end of this air assist.
Yeah, integrated air assist.
So we don't have a separate power supply.
Yep, when you turn on the air assist in Lightburn, this plugs into the control board right here, and here's the M8 box, and it automatically turns on your air assist. There is also in the top here, inside this little cover. All right, so popping open this little top right here,
Air filter.
is an air filter on the inside. And I can tell you that I have not had to clean that air filter on the Lasermatic 10 since I got it. So it's not going to be something that's a problem. And then you always want to check in the box because there's always more stuff hidden around in there.
Yep.
And of course,
Don't want to throw away your power supply down there.
yep, hidden in here is the power supply. So now I'm pretty confident this box is empty.
We have our focal gauge, USB stick, USB cord. Looks like a lens cover.
So yeah, here is the important items box. So you see you have your USB stick in there that's engraved. It says Rolly Laser on it. You have your focal gauge. You have an extra lens in case you need to change the lens. USB cable. And what else is in there? Oh, micro SD card. Nice. And a microfiber cloth.
Yep, that SD card is nice if you don't have one. You can pop one right in your machine and use the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, the last one didn't come with that.
Nope.
All right, so let's look at the. I'm going to look at the sample material. I don't know what you're doing, Patrick, because I'm not looking.
Sample materials.
Okay.
Because I wanted to see if the card was in there, and it sure is.
So we've got some. Oh yeah, there it is, right there.
There's the test card that was actually ran with this laser
Well,
meter.
you know that's good because we can get some settings right off the bat. And here is mine. So here it's showing us our cut and our engraved settings. And it looks like we can go 780 millimeters a minute. And this is also hand signed, by the way, it looks like. Yep, it's hand signed. Okay, and the engraving looks terrific. So I'm looking at 25% power and 12,000, 18,000, 24,000 millimeters a minute, and 25% power is this guy right here, where my finger is. I don't know how well that's showing up, but
I like how they tested the 10 watt and the 20 watt.
Yep, 10 watt and
Those
20 watt. Well, I may not have to do the material test. And then also in here is some more wood. A couple different kinds. 1, 2, 3. 3 more of these in this size. 2 different sizes. Patrick, what's in the gray envelope? Did you look?
Yes, there are a couple pendants, a dog tag, and a shield,
Oh, okay. Oh, business cards, yeah.
and some business cards.
Business cards. It looks like there's some nickel pendants. Very nice. Okay. So more sample stuff. Let's put this on the side. I think I'm going to just take a look at this, but I'm not going to go much further. Patrick, if I cut myself with this knife, you're going to have a lawsuit.
Well, no comment.
Now I don't know if Patrick, you can say whether you do or not, but I don't know if he sells these on his website. But if you do, Patrick, if he does sell them, I mean, that is really a nice knife. You might want to go.
I don't have those. I don't have anything like that on the website at the moment. I do have some automatic Lightning Elite automatic out the fronts that can be engraved, or I just have them up there plain without engraving as well.
Well, you could always make a special request, and I'm not going to unbox this right yet. I'm going to leave the Chuck rotary in there because
There's a lot of parts.
Yeah, I'm not going to get to that tonight.
There's a few parts. Nah, main thing we want to see is the box anyway.
Yeah, basically, since everybody got this today, we just want to give them an idea of what they're going to have to go through with the unboxing.
Ooh, that is fine cut.
Wait, you're getting ahead of me now, bro.
It was dueling live or dueling unboxing, right?
All right, there's one.
I won't get too far ahead.
Man, this is a big box.
That's
I
why
like
you
the
need a
fact
big
that-
knife.
I like the fact that, we don't have to do assembly.
Well, see, that's why you need a big knife. You can reach the other side of the box. Just
That I
with one
can.
knife.
Well, I can almost reach the other side of the box. Not
Alright,
quite.
folks. Right on top, we have a flyer that says Package Contents Box A, Package Contents Box B,
I think he's cheating.
Unpacking Your Laser, and then 2 Allen keys.
All right, we're going to get all this off here. And I don't know, should we do a drum roll? And there it is.
It's time to go well packaged.
You can say that again. You can say that again. You didn't say that. I don't know, should we do a drum roll?
Very well packaged.
You can say there it is.
It's a big package.
So, the question is,
It's time to go
take this
well
out.
packaged.
You can say that again. Which is like right in the bed. You say that again. Get out by the bed. I don't know, should we do a drum roll?
Very well packaged.
You say there it is.
I would say it's a big package.
So, the question is,
It's time to go
take this
well
out.
packaged.
Yeah, you can say that up from the bag. But this table is so
Trust
high
the
off
bag.
the ground, it might be a little harder to do this time.
I'm going to slide this thing down on the floor.
In the meanwhile, I'm going to get my power cord and stuff ready. So I don't know if, I know a lot of people have emailed me and asked me about this table that I use over here. This is a Vever table. And on the side, it's got power and USB power. And it was very cheap. It was really shocking. I got it from Vever.com. I thought I would to mention that.
And there she be.
Did you pick it up by the bag?
Yep.
Okay.
I set it on the floor to do it though.
Yeah. Well, I don't
And then
have
I
that.
put one foot on the box so I could pull the box down and pull the bag at the same time.
I don't have that kind of room. I think I could do this if it were on the ground, but I might be stuck here, Patrick. I think what I'm going to do is move it to the ground like you did.
Well, I'm going to change the camera angle. I don't want anybody to get seasick. So they can watch me stand here, building with the camera for a minute.
Okay, here we go. Rah! It will come all out. It's taking its time. And we did it.
We were given a little warning that it was packed in the foam very well.
Yes, it is.
Richard already knew that. All right, here's a better view for you. Let's see, this first flyer here says we button things down at a couple spots to make transit a bit easier on your Lasermatic. So then it shows us what we have to do to open the cover and get everything functional. Remove 6 screws that are holding down the top cover. Open the top cover, then remove the 4 screws securing the shipping brace that goes across the front of the machine. So there's the shipping brace right there. And we were provided with the tools needed to remove the screws.
I'm probably making too much noise for anybody to hear you right now.
That's my house, really.
And real quickly, because I know some people are going to be wondering this, so I'm going to take some measurements. It is a little over 22 and a half, or 575 millimeters wide. It is right at 2 foot deep, and that would be 612 or so millimeters, and including the legs from the table, it is 11 and a half inches or 290 millimeters high. I know that some people are going to want to know those measurements.
See, 2 more.
Hand.
So there are 6 total that come off the they come out of the acrylic part, and then there are 2 on each side. And we are in.
All right, slow down, son.
Now there are 2 big zip ties.
Yeah, those are some serious zip ties in there.
I don't see how this thing could get damaged in transit.
Well,
I mean,
Yeah.
anything can happen, but it's,
FedEx guys, yeah, come on.
yeah. It's,
They can damage it. My box had a big huge gash inside of it.
let's just say I think Rolly has done everything they can to make sure it does not get damaged in transit.
Absolutely.
Okay, now we're at that point, so we got 2 screws here, 2 screws here, and 2 here on the tops. Instead
And there
of
we
6
go.
route, then you
I'm
have.
catching up, Patrick. I'm catching up.
Oh, I'm just recapping for the audience. And then there's 2 on this side and 2 on this side. So 8 total screws, and then you can open it up. The Z-axis extension plate is already installed, so we can remove that.
Man, these are some hefty zip ties. Wow. That unboxing knife came in handy.
So then the screws that come off of the Z extension, oops, we reuse those to attach the laser module.
Piece of tape. Get rid of that.
Fits like a glove, even without screws.
Where are you up to? Let me take a look. What are you up to?
The Z-axis extension plate.
Mine's already on.
Yep, you gotta take it off unless you want to use it.
Oh, okay. So it's just got 2 screws that hold it in?
Yep, and 4. 2 in the front and 2 in the top.
Oh, so you mean I printed this for nothing? I already printed one of these. I see.
The extension?
Yeah. I already 3D printed one. Look how beautiful that fits on there. That's really nice. Can you see what I'm doing, Patrick?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That extension, the way it's machined, it fits on there perfect without even having screws. All right, now I'm ready to install the laser module.
Oh, I'm way ahead of you.
I was waiting on you to catch up. And now what'd you do? Pass me? You're using power tools over there?
Yes, sir.
Just don't get out of the hammer.
I have to have some kind of advantage here. I forgot to put the hose through the hole for the air assist. And that can be a problem doing it from the front. There we go. Air assist done. Laser module done. Putting the air hose through. Air assist completely done. What I wanted to point out is on these standoffs that are inside for the honeycomb bed, there are 3 pins sticking out. They're alignment pins so that it aligns perfectly on the laser bed. Another thing to point out is that this honeycomb is really, really stiff, unlike most. So I'm going to put this in and let me see if maybe I can switch cameras here for a moment and show you what I was talking about. So on the corners of the honeycomb, you can see that right there. There are round holes right here, and that's for those alignment pins to fit into. So that's what I'm going to do now is drop this on into place. And there are 4 holes on here, but there are 3 pins. And the reason why there are 4 holes is so that you can use it in either metric or standard. I'm going to set this up in metric. There it is. There we go. Now it's perfectly aligned on those pins. And I think I'm almost ready to use this. And there is the finished product. You know, Patrick is all of a sudden lagging behind.
Yeah, I am.
I still have to do my air assist. So on the side, in the back, you'll see there's the plug for the air assist. Here's my hose. I fit it through the little hole in the back of the machine. Now I'll put my air assist over here and plug it up. And something else that's important to know about this too is this air assist is super quiet. Got the little rubber feet on the bottom, and it doesn't make hardly any noise at all when it's running. It's about time.
I'm hooked into my exhaust.
Oh, I gotta plug the exhaust in. Glad you said that. I am ready for my first power up. I think I'm gonna wait for Patrick so we could do this at the same time. If he ever catches up. But when you have a very large unboxing knife, like I do, this goes much, much quicker.
I am ready.
Let me switch cameras again.
Whenever you are ready.
I'm ready. We're going to do a countdown. You ready? 3, 2, 1, launch.
I'm teasing you because you still need to remove your shipping brace.
No, that's okay. I'll leave it on there.
You gonna leave it there?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I left that shipping brace on the other one for like 3 weeks before I realized you take it off.
Okay.
So now we can see what we got going on here. One thing you shouldn't do is run this on an extension cable, which I am on right now.
The sample wood that came in the box is actually sealed in plastic.
Yeah, I noticed that. Okay, install software is next. I know you guys are going to be probably getting bored at this point while we get set up. Actually, I haven't even looked at the stream. 130 people watching. Wow.
Oh, nice.
Thank you, everyone. I'm going to go back to Lightburn. And I'm going to devices.
Let's do, say, 390 and see how it is. Oh, it's so nice the air assist turns on by itself. It's working perfectly. So that's running at 300 millimeters per minute at 90% power, and that is 5 millimeter plywood underlay type stuff from Lowe's. So there's that first test burn, and then the cut. We just
Should we buy a place together?
I think so.
Love that for you.
And I can walk you through everything from mortgage rates to closing costs.
Nobody move.
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank.
For a limited time, save $8 on Powerball.
Need to win the gifting game? Don't panic. Gift Mode on Etsy makes it easy to find incredible gifts made by independent sellers for anyone and any occasion, including your basketball-obsessed neighbor. Shop Gift Mode now. New and on Etsy.
do this 5 millimeter plywood. So that first test looks great. Any other tests you want to see in particular? If it's something I can do,
Yeah, now would be the
after
time.
this live stream, we'll go ahead
Right.
and
I'm
put
gonna
it
switch
in,
over to comments and keep an eye on those while you do that, Patrick. All right, so I'm gonna jump in here for a moment and talk to you about what happened here. It was user error. So this is going to sound ridiculous coming from, I guess, somebody like me, but what I did was I I forgot to select the laser from the drop-down menu. And so here I made another video after the live to post up on my channel showing you that it actually did work straight out of the box. And I did this as quickly as I could. I realized as soon as we ended the stream, because I was paying attention to the comments, that I had forgotten to select the laser. So on the laser tab, you know, I did everything right, but what I forgot to do was pull down the little drop-down menu and select the new laser. I was still on the fiber laser, so that was just user error. And this is the little quick video that I made to explain to everybody why my MK2 didn't work. So in just a second now, I'm going to go over there, and I took a piece of cork, dropped it down, and set it to, I think it was 18,000 millimeters a minute, and something like 65% power, if I'm not mistaken. But that's what I did this burn with, and it came out really good. So here is the result of that burn, right like 10 minutes after the live stream ended. And I was paying attention to the comments, so I didn't really spend too much time trying to diagnose what the problem was. So there you go. right after the live stream, I did that. So that's about it right there. Just wanted to jump in here and let you know it was user error.
Okay.
Andy, no, Patrick was not the winner. I finished mine first.
I think I like Andy.
Okay, so Stacy is saying, would be nice if you could do 20,000 for a cut. That would be nice.
Yes, it would.
Kate was saying, wow, I actually missed that, so I don't know exactly what you did. You did the 5 millimeter wood or something like that?
Yep, 5 millimeter.
Were you using that test card that they gave you for the settings?
No, I just winged it.
Cut something thick, Wellman and Woodson, axe and blade wax. You know, the whole idea of this is not to cut something thick. I mean, these machines aren't made for that. Even if you get a 40 or 50 or 100 watt diode whenever they come out, I don't think many people are going to be cutting 3/4 inch plywood with it. So Stacy says no scorch marks. Yeah, I didn't actually see it. Gio saying that it looks good. And Terry is asking what was the cut set to?
That was 400 millimeters per minute and 90% power.
On 20 watts?
Yep. And I think it could have went faster. There's some poster board I just cut out.
Why did the test engravings look so bad?
Oh no, the engraving looked bad on purpose. I set it at a point. Millimeter.
Okay, show him the test card with the eyes on it.
Yeah, he's talking about my test. Hold on.
Yeah, that was
I
his
wanted
setting.
to see the layer lines, so I set them wide.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, that was me. I did that on purpose.
How is the camera alignment out of the box? We're not going to be doing the camera or the rotary tonight. First off, I'm having a problem with my USB hub, it looks like. So, you know.
I can do this, cut through this wood again.
Victor says that I'm disqualified. No, I like Victor. I like having that shipping brace on there.
Mm-hmm.
I told you I left the one on mine for like 3 weeks.
Oh
the
my
other one.
God.
Is it worth the extra dollars to just get the 30 watt? That's, something I guess that you have to decide. What's the difference? The difference is going to be a little more speed. I personally would probably want the 20 watt, just because the spot size might be a little bit smaller. But when we talk about these spot sizes, it's such a tiny difference. It really doesn't make a big difference. 20 or 30 watt.
I've got an idea.
Thank you, Jerry. I am feeling 90%. So yeah, thank you so much. I don't think I ever feel more than 90%. And Victor is right. I left it on there for extra support. I forgot to tell you that.
Oh man, look how good that framing job was. It's just a guess.
Ed's saying, can you put the 20 on the 10? He wants to know if you can switch over to 10 watts instead of 20 with the switch. It's just a flip of a switch.
Yep. Switch right here. That puts it in 10 watt mode.
Yep.
I'll leave it in 10 watt mode and run this.
Yes, and Chris is right too. I never thought of that. I use that shipping bar to steady my hands.
Ah, gotcha.
Thank you, Louis, for that $5 donation. Appreciate that.
What's the speed that you normally run a line at after an engrave?
Normally what I'll do is, like, let's say for instance I do 6,000 millimeters per minute on the fill. I'll come back and 6,000 millimeters a minute and say 70 power. I'll come back and do 6,000 millimeters a minute and 90 power on the line. So I'll go a little higher. I used to go less, but now I prefer to go higher to get a more distinct line.
All right, I'm going to go 10,000 and 90. But I want it to be in focus in 20 watt mode so we can take a look at the quality.
So TIG, they are belt drive, but they are not on wheels. So
all right, so this is going to be a line at 10,000. Oh, sorry.
That's right.
I wasn't paying attention. 10,000 millimeters per minute, 90% power, 20 watt mode, in focus.
Tony's asking if we are Big Knife certified. I am definitely not. I almost cut myself the first time I took it out of the sheath. Ed's saying, no, sorry, I have a 10. Can you put it in 20 watt mode? Can you put the 20 watt module on the Lasermatic 10? I'm sorry. Yes, you can. So in the comments right there, I just sent you a link to Rolly Automation's website. You can order the upgrade kit to use the 20 watt module. And Douglas sent a $20 donation. Thanks for all you guys do. Thank you, Doug. Much appreciated. And Kate is saying that you must make her a knife.
And Rich will be matching donations to me, so go ahead and feel free to donate all you want. Okay. He goes up running that line at 10,000 millimeters per minute.
Nice.
That is 90% power, and it looks
A little dark.
fantastic.
Yeah. Does it, Dave is asking, does it have the safety feature that the laser will not go on with the lid raised? Yes, it does, Dave. And if you wanted to, like say that you were framing or something like that, all you have to do is put a magnet over one of the two switches.
Okay, I'm going to raise the lid, and you'll see the laser shut off.
There you go. The average diode life, so that's not a question that I know the answer to yet. I know it's rated for at least 10,000 hours, so which is pretty much the standard nowadays. There's no more 2,500 and 5,000. They're all 10,000 hours, and I'm pretty sure these are the same. The rating is 10,000 hours.
Hi, Matt. And hi, Kate. And everybody else that I've missed. I haven't been reading the comments.
Hi to everyone. Thank you all
Yes,
so much for
hello
being
to
here.
everyone.
We have 143 people with us tonight. And being that I'm having communication problems, we're going to stick to Patrick doing the engraving here. And I'll be watching the comments. So any questions that you have or anything that you'd like to see engraved within reason, something that can be done quickly, you can make a request now. And Patrick will probably do that for you.
Yep, I will do my best. I'm just mesmerized by how fast it's running this line.
Tig is asking about the
With
belt.
precision.
Yeah, so it's not enclosed. There are linear rails, and the belt is way behind it, up against the frame. And I can tell you that on the Lasermatic 10, I've got more than 700 hours on it, and that those belts are still just fine. Never had a problem with it. So the only thing that I didn't do on the assembly, which I normally do, is grease the linear rails. And I know they come pre-greased, so we don't have to do that now. But for you guys out there, real quick, let me just switch over for 1 second while that's running. Real quickly, this is what I use to grease mine. I just use some CRC. And this is dielectric grease, so you don't ever have to worry about, not that anything would ever be electrical, but this is what I use to grease my rails. I've only done the Lasermatic 10. I've only greased it twice, a full cleaning and greasing twice. And on the 20, the beta version that I had, I just did a full cleaning on it for the first time. Of course, I cleaned the lens all the time, but I just did the full cleaning when I took it off the table and greased it again. You don't need a big tube of grease like I have here. Patrick, do you have your air assist on?
Yeah. Sure is.
Like, isn't that nice to have the air automatically turn on?
It's wonderful. I love it.
God damn it.
I did the video I put out a couple days ago. I forgot to turn the air assist on, and it ruined the acrylic. So I didn't reshoot it. I just ran the next piece with the air assist on and showed both of them. See, this is now Patrick proof.
Gary, I don't know why it doesn't pause the job, but it doesn't. But if one of your children happens to open it or something like that, it'll turn off the laser.
For that speed, that is a good amount of detail.
Yeah,
And
sure is.
that could have been done with less power.
Yep, that was 20,000.
Big news! You can now save up to 85% on clearance after an extra 50% at Kohl's.
10,000 and
Oh,
90.
10,000. Okay. Jeff is asking, is there a maintenance list included? There is a Facebook group, Roll the Automation
Hey,
Facebook group.
bitch.
And that you can ask any of the questions that you want about maintenance in there. The only maintenance that you really do on a diode laser is the lens cleaning, and there is a video posted in there of the lens cleaning process. I also have one on my channel too. Kate says she sent you an email, Patrick.
Okay.
She wants that knife, I'm telling you. Carla, excuse me. Carla is saying engrave a star or anything at 20 watts and same star at 10 watts. Okay, we can do that. Patrick can do that. Can't you, Patrick?
All right. Well, I guess the speed would be.
She just wants to see a side by side of the same thing at two different speeds.
Okay. I can do that.
And Kate's saying that she will pay for it. Kate, if you send me a check for $399, I will get that ordered for you right away. Stacy is saying she likes the idea of air assist must be self-adjusting for flow. There is no flow adjustment on the air assist. It's on or off. So that's all there is to it. There is some talks about the MK3 having adjustable air assist as well as autofocus and a whole bunch of other stuff. But in the meanwhile, no, it's just on or off. And I just do it with it on all the time. So will either of us be getting a 30 watt? We hope so, Diane. We hope we'll be getting that module. But at this point in time, you know, it's a very limited production factory. So we don't want to overwhelm them with orders. If you engrave at 10 watts, will it cut at 20 altogether? No. It's a manual switch that you flip from 10 to 20 watts. So what you would do is you turn let the engraving part of it run and turn off the cut layer, and then when the engraving is finished and the job is over and the machine is stopped, flip it to 20, turn off the engraving, turn on the cut layer, and hit start again.
This is what my next video is going to be about. It's engraving leatherette. So this is a black leatherette with the gold foil underneath. So if I will just do an example of that real quick. That was waiting on suggestions. And I'll cut it out and then do. They want the same engraving done in 10 watt and then just 20 watt at a higher speed.
Well, no, do them both the same. She just wants to see the difference between 10 watts and 20 watts. So you use a piece of wood and I guess set them both to 10,000 millimeters a minute. Set it to 10,000 millimeters a minute, do one and then do the other. Just do something in line, you know, a quick star or something like that, just to see the difference. Your video froze. Oh, there it goes. It just came back.
Probably my connection.
Yeah, Patrick has some little connection problems, just like me.
It's been better since I'm now on the Starlink home plan. So
yeah, it sure has.
Especially RV.
Yep.
There's the black and gold leatherette. Easy peasy. And that's what the 20 watt, I just kind of guessed at a setting based off what I used the 10 watt.
Sabrina, thank you for that $20 donation. Your channel has helped me so much. I can't thank you enough. I'm on lasers, so I've been watching the Lightburn College playlist. Well, thank you very much from start to finish, along with the Like and Learn. I've got about 200 videos up there, Sabrina, so your homework assignment for the next 3 months is to watch those every day. Thank you for that donation. Much appreciated. And now you're running the cut on that.
Yep.
Now don't forget that this is cutting the leatherette as well as going through the glue and the backer. So.
And I did not drop it down closer to do
How many
do the
passes
cut.
I got on this?
Yeah, as Kate, I will show you the knife again as soon as this job is finished and Patrick shows us his results. I love that knife.
4 passes.
Carl, likely we're going to be getting just the module. They're not going to send us a whole new machine, so it's more than likely just going to be a module. But we do have some surprises coming up, so stay tuned to the Laser Maker's Realm. Hey, if you guys don't know this, if you're watching from my channel or from Patrick's, we do a live stream every 2 weeks. Patrick, Steve at Hobo with Wood, and myself every 2 weeks. Oh, that's nice. I like that. Beautiful.
Perfect. Can't get any better.
Yes,
Yeah.
I get
Actually, this blue silver, which gives people challenges quite
Stupid.
often, I did with the 10-watt version of this machine, the original, and it worked quite well. So now let's do 10-watt versus 20-watt.
Yep. While you do that, I'm going to take over the screen here for a moment because Kate wanted to see that knife again. So let me show you the knife. Let me see if I can just move this camera a little bit.
So I did
There is the sheath
75,
with the little leg tie,
75 at 100.
and here
This. That's too bad.
is the knife. Let that focus for a minute. If it'll
75
focus,
at
you can't
100
really
is
see what's
too
going
bad.
on. Hopefully that's focused. So it says unboxing knife, and now I can see it.
Jesus fucking
Louisiana
Christ.
guy. And that does have a laser on there that's probably not coming out in the video. And then on the side here, it says, what does it say there? You can't really see it because it says for Rich from Patrick 2023. So there it is right there. Oh, I don't want to touch that part of it. And then over here, he's got light source engraving.
So get it
his
for me.
logo. And this opens up, and you can keep your spare laser parts in here
I can hook up 3 monitors.
for the unboxing.
I put a screwdriver and some M5 screws in there for
Yep.
your laser
Screwdriver. Yeah. And 5 screws. And this is waterproof. There is a gasket on here. So, and I love the rope handle. I think that's just beyond cool.
And
So there it is right there. The unboxing knife. The bigger, better unboxing knife.
I'm gonna get here.
Says we need to buy out the truck's lease or give it back. How are we gonna run a business without a truck?
You can't.
So let's figure out a plan to keep you guys on the road.
Coffee, Craig? Thank you.
March 1st.
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank.
You know what sucks? Is did you see what happened when Pam got a text? I grabbed my phone. We both have not changed our text tones.
Now Patrick's going to want to show his.
That is 20-watt engraving there.
Oh shit.
Yes, the leatherette was done at 20 watt.
Ryan is asking, is the Wave 1 shipment or early shipment for content creators? No. The Wave 1, the first wave of shipment was actually for people that ordered last month, or last month. The early bird orders, and it was Lasermatic 10 owners. So we're not the only ones that have these. There was a bunch, I think there was a couple hundred of them that should have arrived today all over the country. So we're not the only ones. We're just the only ones doing a live stream on it.
Couldn't resist. I could have made that a little bit smaller. I wasn't.
Yeah, you should have.
That's all right. I'll just stop it there and then start the next one.
Yeah. We only need to see about 10 millimeters of it. So.
All right. Now I'm going to drop it to 10 watt via the switch and start number 2.
And this is going to be same speed, same power.
Yep.
Obviously different power because we're going from 10 to
Same
20.
percentage of power.
Percentage, you got it. You know, Patrick, when you get to be my age, you're always at a loss for words.
Sometimes I'm at a loss for words anyway.
Yeah, there's a good question, Karen.
Of course
Thank
there's
you
no
for that
money.
question, Karen.
Why
A lot
would
of
there
people
be
probably
fucking money in the
curious about
bank?
that. Does the focus stay the same
She's
when
got
switching
both
between
fucking
20 and
tax
10?
returns.
Yes, it does. But it's not the same
Oh,
as
because
the
150
Lasermatic
just
10.
came out for
So
fucking
if you have a
Amazon Prime.
Lasermatic 10 machine, you have your own separate focal gauge for that one. This focus is slightly different than the Lasermatic 10. Well, thank you, Kate. I appreciate that. The spring chicken still. Hang on, Patrick.
Jesus
your connection is
fucking
frozen there.
Christ,
Do
man.
that again.
Well, I ain't
Show
getting
that one more
that
time.
fucking this week.
There we go. Yeah.
See, they're probably coming
There we
focused
go.
in the.
There we go. Now you got it. There you go. Right there.
So it is shaped a little bit different.
Yes, it's a slightly different shape and it's slightly different focus. So the focus on these is a little bit higher than it was on the Lasermatic 10.
All right, I'll just go ahead and stop this.
So Lasers and Saws is asking another good question. Thank you for that. When you switch to power, does the dot size stay the same? No, it does not. So when he's in 10 watt mode, it is the bottom two diodes that are turned on only. And when he's in 20 watt mode, all four diodes are turned on. So the spot size is going to increase. I believe, without looking at the paperwork, that it goes from 0.08 to 0.12 or somewhere in that area when you switch to 20. And there is the difference between the 10 watt and the 20.
No output, no output. Bring this down to 1,000.
Mike, there's lots of people are going to be getting these lasers today. In fact, I think we have 2 people in the stream that have gotten theirs today as well. And Jerry, you got a long way to go to catch up there, brother.
At 80.
So there you can see the difference between the two.
80.
Yep,
It's
equal.
pretty much what I expected.
Yes, that's equal speed and equal line distance. I didn't change anything. Just flip that switch. That's it.
Yeah.
There's a different view.
The difference really is going to come
It's
in
not really
with
small.
the engraving speed. You'll be able to
Fucking
engrave at almost
4
twice as
inches,
fast
3
and get the same
inches.
results.
It's not really small.
I don't know what, Amber, I don't know what Procreate is. Patrick probably does. I mean, I know what it is. I like it, but I don't know that's what you mean.
I'm not.
I don't take those videos anymore or those photos, I'm too old for that.
So,
Patrick, do you know what Procreate is? It's some kind of software program.
let's try.
I've heard of it. And I'm drawing a blank.
Okay, Amber, if you in that software program, if you save as any type of an image, you can import it into Lightburn. So it can be it could be a JPEG, it could be a GIF, it could be a PDF, it could be a bitmap, it could be anything,
Save.
and you just import the image into Lightburn. Paul was wondering the same thing about the dot size. Yeah. Okay, so Carla is saying she sees a big difference between the 10 and 20 and saying thank you. The cutting bed size is 400 by 406.
All right, I'm going based
Jim,
on this.
Jim, this is not a contest. I think Jim would probably win if it was.
Based on this card,
No.
I'm going to run a cut on this 3mm plywood. It's focused on my eyeballs.
And that test card has both 10 and 20 watt tests on it.
So I'm going to set it to 20 watt and run 800 speed for a cut.
All right, so Uncle Ron is saying that Procreate is an art program for the iPod. I know that's an iPad. I'm just making a joke. My jokes are terrible. good question, Ken. Ken's asking, does the 30 have a switch to go from 10, 20, 30? No, it goes from 10 to 30. So you have either 10 watts or 30 watts.
Detailed photos, 10 watts
Nice
is
if
what
it
you want.
cut through.
I think we have a winner in the age contest here
Usually
at
they do
82
6 passes.
is Tom. And Carl says that
Jamie!
Carl Riley says that he is past me. He's just passed me at 76. Yes, you are. So I am the spring chicken here. Matt says he wants to build the Death Star laser. Oh, that would be a cool project to do right there. Okay, we have an answer from Paul. Thank you, Paul. The laser dope. Amber, save the image. Though you may need to subscribe to save as an SVG or transparent background.
Like Canva, you have to have their Plus or whatever membership to save as SVG.
But you can save it. You can save it as
Now I'm
anything, and then
pissed.
just adjust the image in Lightroom.
Why did fucking Amazon Prime have to come out?
Not quite through. Let me slow down.
Amber says she has a
Fucking
5.5 watt
bullshit.
laser diode. What kind of thickness? What should I use? Amber, if you go to my forum, lahobbyguide.com, click on the forums. There are libraries for Lightroom for 5.5 watt diodes, and then you won't have to guess. You can just look at the thickness and click apply to the layer. 10 to 20 rich, not 10 to 30, Jerry's saying. It's both, Jerry. So there is a 30 watt version that has a 10 and 30, and there's a 20 watt version that has a 10 and 20.
Almost through. Just because of the spot size, it's cutting better on the X than the Y. Just need to slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, it is a rectangle. And they are working on that, by the way, to get that to a square for the next version. Bill is saying the engraving on the test looked a little light. I don't know.
That was the test that I ran was by design.
Yeah.
I turned down the cut circle. It's fucking
Patrick,
burning.
Gary is saying that you should not be dealing drugs with dirty fingernails like that.
I gotta learn what setting to use to cut.
I'll have to clean them out. But I do a lot of work with my hands when I'm not at the pharmacy. I like to get my hands dirty.
For a limited time, save $8 on Powerball.
What am I doing? What did I change it to? 50. Changed it to 50, 100. I could probably do 60. No, let's try 50. Well, let's see if it cut. Nope.
Matt says he's 44 years old.
So-
Okay, Matt, you're one of the children in the group tonight.
Let's
That was almost
turn that on, turn that off.
August 25th, 1936. You do the math. Lewis is 70. 2 weeks ago. Happy birthday, Lewis. Happy
All
birthday,
right.
Chicago Bob. Again.
Laser.
Anybody else want to say
Sorry.
anything in particular?
Kate, all you have to do on the,
So if it
excuse me,
doesn't
Patrick,
burn
go
it
on the
even
laser
more.
tab, and you'll see a button that says devices. Click on that button, click on the one you want to remove, and click the delete button. Michael is asking what's the expansion unit that they're mentioning. They're not mentioning an expansion unit. What they're talking about is a conveyor belt. So this does have a 17-inch pass-through front and back, and there will be a conveyor belt coming soon so that you can do a 6-foot porch sign all in one job if you wanted to.
That's going to be cool.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. Okay, so Bob's birthday is tomorrow. You're welcome, Bob.
Do I need to talk louder?
Cool. Steve says he has shoes older than 44. Hi, Steve.
I'm looking for a piece of black.
I should have put my honeycomb bended.
So Amber is talking about.
Look at this one.
Not show the crosshatch. I think.
Where's?
You're talking about the work area center cross. So if you click the gear icon up at the top of the screen, then up by the top on the right side, you'll see something that says Show Work Area Center Cross, I think. And you just click on that, and it will show you that center cross.
I don't have any pieces of black acrylic. I have some semi-transparent.
Oh, whatever you got is fine. Deepak, I'm not
Did
sure
that
how
last
that's
night.
pronounced, is asking if we can show where the pass-through is. I don't have a camera that will get that close. Patrick, can you show him the front pass-through? Another nice thing about the pass-through is that it's not like a lot of the ones that you see that are a quarter of an inch pass-through. This one is almost an inch tall. Front and back, 17 inches wide. Chris says he has a 53-year-old T-shirt. Oh, boy. There's the pass-through right there.
Let's stop
So
it.
it goes from the left side to the right side, 17 inches all the way across. And it's in front and back. There we go.
Take it out.
Shit. There it is in the back. Let's see. These 2 points right there where you take the cover off.
Come on, people, let us know what you want to see. Do you have to take the bottom off? No. Oh, by the way, the bottom of this machine is removable with just a couple screws, so you can
That's
like
what I
engrave.
was getting ready to show them.
Yeah, there you go.
No.
And the max thickness, the max thickness is 1 inch thick for the pass-through.
Let's try this one.
And you have your indexing pins, your rotary.
Yep.
And there's the close-up of the indexing pins for the honeycomb.
Nice.
Move. Down.
Let's see. There's your control board.
Amber is saying what she's saying
Down.
is if you can do 2 different ways, you can do regular
Over.
cross-hatching. The cross-hatching button doesn't show on my workspace.
Layers.
The cross-hatch is, if you double-click the layer, you'll see a way to turn on the cross-hatch in there.
Let's do.
Everything's in cable chain, so there's no loose cables.
Let's
Yeah.
do.
And someone was asking about that belt
150.
earlier. There's the belt back there. It's tucked way underneath there. It never gets any
8
debris on it.
times.
And there's the linear rails.
Yeah,
There are
that's
no
what
wheels
it's
on
in
it.
there.
Turn that on.
Brandon saying throw in the rotary just for show. Well, we haven't unboxed the rotary yet.
I want the lettering darker.
That it just sits in on those standoff pins so that it's in a perfect position. You can just take the rotary part out and just put that into the
85.
standoffs, I guess. The position
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I was thinking.
without taking everything else out.
Frame.
Brandon's saying he wants to
wait,
see it
no.
just for show.
Alright, there's
Move.
several little parts. Oh, how cool. Alright, you gotta see
Let's.
There's a level.
2.
Oh, The tape.
Chuck, it's orange, so it's
By
not
2.
as easily lost. Or the key.
2 by 2.
So you have a
Start.
level.
Or frame it.
That is so smart. You can easily measure your circumference if you need to with one of these, like a
And I
pulse
bet you that's
tape
in
measures.
millimeters and inches, is it? Both standard and metric? Or is it just metric?
No.
Hold on. There's
Inches.
your standard.
Mm-hmm.
and I just caught a glimpse of it.
On the other side.
And on the other side is your millimeters.
Awesome.
Another set of Allen keys and screws.
I'm guessing that's for the jaws.
There's a cable.
Alright, let's start it.
Yes, the nice.
Yeah.
It's been dipped in plastic, so it's
Plastic.
given that color, so it's like rubberized, or whatever you want to call it.
Bob is saying, can you get some Dramamine?
I tried not to make everybody motion sick, but I can hook you up with some, that's for sure.
Is there a new version of Lightburn? It just came out because on my interface it doesn't show crosshatching. You have to click the gear icon up at the top. It's on all the versions of Lightburn, Amber. Click the gear icon, which is the device settings. The settings. Edit settings.
What'd you say?
Dipped in plastic, so it's
Plastic.
given that color, so it's like rubberized, or whatever you want to call it.
Bob is saying, can you get some Dramamine?
I tried not to make everybody motion sick, but I can hook you up with some, that's for sure.
Is there a new version of Lightburn? It just came out because on my interface it doesn't show crosshatching. You have to click the gear icon up at the top. It's on all the versions of Lightburn, Amber. Click the gear icon, which is the device settings. The settings. Edit settings. Carl, no, they don't have it yet, but it's in the works right now. It's supposed to be launched this fall. We're already in the fall, and it's going to be a belt drive. Nice. That's a nice rotary.
Here's little wheels there, and those little wheels adjust.
Support
You
wheels.
see they're getting higher. 1, 2.
Okay, so I'd be interested to see the smallest type that can be legibly engraved using a standard font like Arial, and what the difference is between the two power levels engraving that font. Well, I can tell you that I've gotten down to 0.5 millimeter text, so I can tell you that already. I've done that on the Laser 10, and I've done it on the 20 beta.
So there's the base that has the pins in the base that your rotary index is right onto. And
Let it
then
focus,
it's not-
Patrick.
Good.
There we
Now
go.
focus. Now it's not moving.
Oh, I
Now
should have
it's
put
in
the
those
fucking
pins.
honeycomb
Now
underneath.
that's perfectly set up, and the LB set file that we imported earlier has all of the different positions in there to set it up. Now I'm pretty sure
Wow,
that this
that's
one probably
fucking
only has
slow.
one position, because it's not like the Laser 10.
You are correct. It just says Chuck Rotary and bumped into it. It's my fault.
I thought I changed it.
HTL host is saying he doesn't see the chat. Whose stream do I need to watch? Right now we are streaming to my channel, Louisiana Hobby Guy, to lightsource.pro, or the Patrick's channel, Lightsource,
Yep.
and the Laser Maker's Realm, all 3 channels. So everyone's going to see different chat. That's why I'm putting the messages up on the screen. Oh, I did it too soon. He says he's got it now.
All right, so now it's in perfect position for the rotary.
Well, we don't know how,
That's
Jeff
gonna
is asking how
fucking
big the
burn.
rotary will do, but we don't know yet because we haven't actually used it. So this is the first time we're seeing it as well. Yeah, so the reason why you can't see other chats is depends on what channel you're on. So whether you're on one channel or the other, you can't see all of the chats. You can only see the chats that are in your channel.
All right.
That looks like you'd be able to do a 20-ounce tumbler in there.
So there are 2 sets of jaws. Okay, you have the longer and a shorter set.
I
Let's
don't-
keep these to stay in focus.
I don't know what clearance issue you're talking about with the rotary. There's no clearance issue that I know of. I've done
No,
all
that was
types
my
of-
fault because I didn't move it up.
Oh, okay.
And then here are 3 pins that will screw into the front of the rotor.
Oh, jewelers. Yeah, jewelers pins.
So the jeweler pins.
Yes, it is. And I can tell you that there are companies that are trying to replicate this right now. So there are 3 other machines that are going to be coming out on the market. They're not going to be anywhere near the quality that this machine is.
That's amazing how smooth the support slides on these rails. And there's a reason for that.
Donnie is saying 4-inch on the chuck for the sides.
It's because you actually have
I wonder if
wheels.
I slow it down
I
more.
know it's probably hard to see. But there are actually wheels where this rides on the rails.
Oh, it's not just
It
the metal.
burns
rubber.
when I make
No,
another
it's so
pass.
smooth.
Yeah, this is a custom designed chuck roller, just like the low profile was custom designed for the Lasermatic 10.
Maybe.
All right, here we are. Okay, so we're at an hour and 44 minutes. Got 131 people watching. Let us know what questions or comments you have now, because we're
See, it's
about
starting
to
to
say
burn.
adios. So,
You know what?
can
I
go-
will mention. Go right ahead. I didn't.
Oh,
mean to
come on,
interrupt you.
Patrick. No, you're going to make me put mine up again.
Well, I just wanted people to see the unboxing knife rules.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty fun.
Yeah, because you guys might not know the unboxing knife rules.
But can you see how small that is now with it up on the screen close up?
Yeah. Yeah, here's close up.
Lewis is saying, I want it.
So, there's no accidents, no backstabbing. Keep away from lunatics, right? Okay, and then the most important one is no knives for babies.
Well, wait, I don't know about that one. And now the comments went a little too quick. Oh, this one here. So Matt is asking, are you going to have a giveaway
I want to
with
try
one
some.
of the lasers? We just had a giveaway of the Lasermatic 20. In fact, it was just delivered today to the winner. So we just finished a giveaway that we had for a month on the Laser Makers Realm. We are going to, without me saying much, we're going to have several more giveaways on the Laser Makers Realm. So if you're not a subscriber over there, make sure that you subscribe. And also, Patrick, subscribe to Patrick's channel too, because he has lots of great fiber content. In fact, he's the one that's
I gotta make a
teaching
frame
me
for
fiber
this.
lasers, and that is youtube.com/@LS Engraving.
Yeah.
Patrick, put a link to your channel in there, please.
Yes, sir.
Matt, you're so right. Babies have a right to defend. They have Second Amendment rights as well. No call. You can't type that in on this show.
That's funny.
Good night, Stacy. I'm glad that you spent some time with us tonight. Yes, Bob, we are. We have a portable setup, portable streaming setup. So we'll be walking around the Lightburn Convention, the LBX, together, and we will be streaming live from there, probably more than once, right, Patrick?
That's the plan. Hope so.
Yeah, probably a few times.
But definitely on Sunday during the open house event.
Yes. Yeah. And,
All right.
and likely on Thursday or Friday as well, walking around the convention hall. Well, plus Patrick's going to be a speaker there, so I don't know. I might stream that.
Oh, don't make me nervous.
John is asking, is there a way to save position in a project when you want to shut? Just hit the pause button and come back the next day, and then hit resume, and you'll be right back where you left off.
This in.
And everyone is saying thank you and good night. So I think we're going to do the same.
Erase this.
And thank you all so much for joining us at this last minute notice, a couple of hours notice. We appreciate you being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the video, to our channels. If you're not already, go over to Patrick's channel and subscribe over there. Patrick's got a lot of good content on his channel, and we are going to be doing some dual maker videos on the fiber laser coming soon for both of us. So you want to be subscribed to both of our channels. So I want to thank everybody for watching tonight. Patrick, say good night.
Good night. Great day to be a mountaineer wherever you may be.
Good night, everybody.
Hey, good night.
Yeah.
Francis. Yes. Hope you're enjoying New York, my friend. Well, listen, I've got good news for you. The flight's on. It's a done deal. We got AJ. Okay, as many times and you will. You got this.
Let's try that. Move. Okay. Cut. This, we're going to turn it down to 10. Constant power. Alright, here we go. Did the, yeah. Start. Dragon. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so Patrick and I are just hanging around in the shop today, and Patrick said, "Why?" Hey, it's Rich, the Louisiana Hobby Guy. Today's topic is creating a material library in Lightroom. Are you tired of setting up a project, getting the speed and the power down right, getting a perfect cut on your piece of plywood, and then writing it all down, and then dropping in a piece of pine, and all of a sudden those settings don't work, and you have to start all over again from scratch? Now you kind of figured out, well, you know what, I got to keep a notebook on all this stuff. So you start writing it down, you have little sticky notes here and sticky notes there and a notebook over there. Well, all of that's unnecessary. I'm going to show you today how to create a material library in Lightburn where all you need to do is a couple of clicks of the mouse and you're dead on, ready to start learning. You don't have to fool with testing or anything else. And before we get started, I'd appreciate a like or a subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. It just takes a second. So up on my screen, I've got my work plane. And on the work plane, I have an example piece of text, and what I'm going to do is assign that to a layer. So down on the bottom left, see where it says 01? I'm going to assign that to the 01 layer. And that's the layer we're going to be working with today, just so that I can show you this example. Lightburn has a feature called Library. You can store all of this information. And if you don't see it down here on the bottom right, then all you need to do is come up to Window, up at the very top, the window, and scroll all the way down until you see Library. Make sure this box right here is checked, and you're good to go. The library will show up down there. So let's come down here to the Library tab, and you'll see that this is my library of the things that I do most. And most recently, I've been doing Dollar General cutting boards. So if I double click on that, you'll see no thickness. That's the reason why there's no thickness, is because I don't cut these cutting boards. The only thing I do is etch or engrave. If I double click on that, you'll see I have 3 engraving methods for these cutting boards: dark, light, and medium burn. If I were to click on this, and let's say I was going to
We're starting a fire!
engrave this on one of these cutting boards, and I wanted a medium engraving, I'd click down here, medium engrave in my library, and I'd come over here, and I'd click on Assign to Layer. Now I want you to watch right up here what happens.
We're starting a fire!
When I click Assign to Layer, and here we go. Boom. And assign those properties to this layer. So now if I double click this and open it up, you'll see the speed is 2000, the power is 70, and I have 1 pass. All of this information is saved right here. So I don't have to pull out my notebook, I don't have to look for the Dollar General sticky note, I don't have to do any of that. And let me show you how to create this from new. Now I have several libraries. Now you see right here, this one is the ORTUR 20 watt. But I have several machines. So if I come down here to load and click on that, you'll see I have a separate folder on my desktop called Lightburn Art. And in that Lightburn Art, I have all of my artwork, which I'll show you in another video.
We're starting a
and
fire.
I have all of my lasers down here. Right now I have this one loaded. But
it's because I
if
turned
I
the
wanted
speed
to,
all the way
let's
down
say
to
the
10
K40, I just double click
millimeters
on it,
a
and now you'll see
second.
the K40 is loaded. So the great thing about this is that most people that get into this, they wind up with 2 or 3 lasers. So you can have 2 or 3 different libraries with 2 or 3 different sets of speed and power based on the laser that you're using. But for this tutorial, what we're going to do is create a new one. You never hit this new button down here on the bottom right unless you're creating a new library, because it will make this library go blank and there'll be nothing there. So now we're starting from scratch, and this is probably what your screen looks like if you're here watching this video. So ignoring everything that's up on top here, and I guess I can just go ahead and get rid of it all to make this less confusing. We have our example, and over here on Cuts and Layers tab, you'll see, if I double click this, that we have this setting at 2000 and max power 70. Okay? Now that's in a fill. So what we want to do, let's say we'll change this to a line to start. Now let's set this up for a light engraving. So I'm going to go 3000, 70%. And if you have air assist, you turn this on. The mode is a line. Number of passes is 1. That's a light engraving for me. So I'm going to say OK. Now this is all set. We're starting from scratch, okay? The next thing we do is come down here to our empty library. We're going to create a new library from this layer. So we click on this button, and we're going to call this the material name. So let's say we're doing the cutting board, for example. And you want to be very descriptive here. You want to have a different material name for every material that you're using. Cutting board, plywood, cardboard, acrylic, and so on. The thickness, we're not going to be cutting the cutting board ever. So we're going to leave no thickness on there. If we had a cut for
I'm
example,
gonna get this.
like let's say we were doing cardboard, then we would have a thickness. We put the thickness in. But for this one, we're going to put.
Hey,
now the
you want some
description
milk?
here, and what we just decided a minute ago was that we're going to do a light line engrave, and that's the description. So that's all we need here. This is the very top category, the material name. This is the next category, the thickness, which is none. And this is the description. And we say, okay. Now we got it. So now we have the light, the cutting board settings. No thickness,
that's
light
a lot of
engrave.
smoke.
All we have to do now is duplicate that.
Faster you go, the more
Double click
smoke.
it. And now let's say we want a medium engrave. Well, what I'm going to do is slow down my speed from 3,000 to 1,500. And I'm going to say OK. Now I can come down here, change the description to take out the copy part and take out the light and put in medium. Medium line engrave and say OK.
I think
So
I
now we have two.
put 6
Light line
passes on
engrave,
this.
medium line engrave, and they're different. If you look at the first one and do edit cut, you'll see 3070. Okay. If we look at the second one, 1570, it's saving our settings. Now we can also create another new one. We're going to leave everything the same except the description. And we're going to call this dark line engrave, and say OK. So now we have dark. We'll open that up. We'll change this to, again, 1500, but I'm going to change the power to 85% and say OK. You see how easy this is? It seems confusing because most people don't understand the hierarchy that in this. Right now we still only have one library, the cutting board. Underneath that we have 3 types of line engravings. Now the next thing we wanted to do, let's say we wanted to add a fill. Well, let's double click on this and let's do fill. And we'll do the speed at 1500 and the max power I'm going to set for 50 and say OK. What we'll do here is create a new layer from this one.
Milk is
in
good.
cutting board, no thickness, and then we're going to do backspace this out and put
can
fill
drink a whole
engrave
gallon.
and say OK. Now we have fill. So under cutting board we have fill engrave and line engrave. Now from fill we're going to create another layer in cutting board, and we're going to call this
I think we got it.
dark and say OK. And I only
Speed it up
have 2
just a little
types of
more.
fill engraves, light and dark. So I'm going to double click this, and for the darker engrave I'm going to do 1500 and I'm going to change this to 75 and say OK. Now that's basically the concept. That's how easy it is to do. So in the future, let's say I bring in a picture right here. I select it so that it's selected up here. Okay, you'll see that this is lit up. That's selected, and I assign something to it. And it doesn't matter. This is where I'll be starting off when I open the program. So let's say I wanted to do a line on a cutting board. I go to cutting board, no thickness, and what do I want the lines to be? Do I want dark line, light line, medium line? I just pick this, light it up, come over here to assign to layer, and watch up here when I click the button. Ready? Here it goes. There we go. It's just that easy. So let's close this up. Let's come up here, and let's say we're going to cut this out of some cardboard. Okay? So we're going to change the speed to 1500, max power 90, line mode, and that's a cut. Alright?
You know I grew up on a dairy farm, right?
Back down here in our library, create new from layer. Now the difference this time is we're going to change the name of the material. And we're going to call this cardboard. And the thickness we're going to change to 4 millimeters. And the description, we're going to put cut. And say, okay. Now look at that. All of a sudden we have cardboard and we have cutting board. So now if we come to cardboard, we have the 4 millimeter cardboard, and you may have a couple different types. You just add another one, and the cut. And all we have to do is assign it to the layer. Now, you've got a whole list of these things, I'm sure, already, written down on your sticky notes, notebooks, and so on. So all you have to do is just transfer these in. So now let's say I wanted to etch this instead. Okay, I'm going to come and click duplicate. Leave cardboard there. I'm going to put no thickness this time. No thickness because we're going to engrave. And description is going to be engrave. And I'm going to say OK. So now I have cardboard. The next level in the hierarchy is no thickness.
You know what goes good with milk? Cow feed.
So you don't really need to understand all this. You just click cardboard, engrave, or cut. Which one do you want to do? And you assign that to the layer. And it's just that simple. And just for fun, let's do one more so we can do this 3 times in a row. And you might want to have your software open. And you can probably just listen while I do this. So I'm going to do create new from layer. I'm going to call this layer. And remember, you always have to have something here to start that's highlighted in order to create a new one. We're going to call this one plywood. And we're going to put the thickness at 3 millimeters. And we're going to call this one. Oh, we can leave this one at engrave light.
Turn that
We'll do
off, turn
engrave
that
light
off.
and say OK. Now if we have plywood category, 3 millimeter plywood, engrave light,
6 times.
we'll double click it, come in here, get our notes out, and set it up, 2040, and that's a line engrave, say OK. And actually what I can do now is edit the description because line, so there. So now we have edit light line, 3 millimeter plywood, edit light line. Now we're going to duplicate this again, and we're going to call this light and say OK, and edit the description again, engrave light photo. You want to make sure you get all these descriptions very detailed so you know what they are. So now we're going to do engrave light photo, and I'm going to change it to, this is based on what I've done before, is going to be 1550, and say OK. So now on my 3 millimeter plywood I have engrave light line engravings, engrave light photo. I'm going to duplicate this again. I'm going to change this to, I'm going to take out the copy part here, and I'm going to change this to dark, engrave dark photo, and you're going to stay at the 3 millimeters here so that it comes underneath this category, and say OK. Double click that. I'm going to change my power to 80 for a dark engraving on a photo. And now I have 3 different plywood engravings here. Now, coming back to plywood, if I highlight plywood, I want to create a new layer in plywood. So we're going to leave the material name there, plywood. The thickness is going to be 3 millimeters. And we're going to put cut and say OK. Then I'm going to double click on cut. Now to cut 3 millimeter plywood, I need to be at 500 speed, this I already know. I need to be at 85% power, and I need to have 6 passes. 500 speed, 85 power, 6 passes. Okay. So now let's say that I have a piece of plywood on my workspace, and this example is not, that's not going to cut it out, because I want to cut it, all right? All I have to do is come down here to my library, go to plywood, 3mm, cut, assign to layer, and there it is. It's ready to go. No more searching for your sticky notes. No more flipping through your notepad. Everything is here. Now, what we do next, once we've put a couple in here, and you should do this as you go, do save as. Now, in this one, I, on my desktop, have a folder called Desktop Lightburn Art. This is where I keep all of my art, like I said earlier, and this is where I keep all of my cut libraries. Okay? So I'm just going to make sure you give this a descriptive name. So you can put your laser in there. I'm just going to put example for right now and say save. And it's saved forever. No matter what happens, if you hit new by mistake and, oh, it's gone. You know, all you have to do is click load, come up here to your desktop, your Lightburn Art, and example, and everything's right back where it is. It's just that easy. In no time, in 5 minutes flat, we were able to start populating this. Every time you do something new, and let me show you something real quick. I'm going to load my ORTUR 20, and in here I've got acrylic, black, colored acrylic. I've got balsa wood. I've got cardstock, ceramic tiles, corrugated cardboard, Dollar Tree cutting board, felt, leather, MDF, blah blah blah, all the way down. And whatever I'm doing, let's say I'm doing this on slate tiles. There's not going to be any thickness because I'm never going to cut it. The only thing I'll ever do is engrave it. So I'll click engrave, assign to layer, and I'm ready to run the job. It doesn't get any easier than this, folks. So if you enjoyed what you saw here, please give it a like and subscribe. Tell me what you think. Leave me a comment down below. Thanks for watching.
Eligible non-GM lessees get this low-mileage lease on this 2024 Cadillac XT4 for around $429 per month.
It's gotta be getting close.
Vice versa, with 10 times more moisturizers for smooth skin compared to regular Versa.
Hey, it's Rich, the Louisiana Hobby Guy. Today we're going to be getting into an advanced tutorial on Lightburn libraries, the cut and engrave library, the art library, where to get them, and how to use them. So, stay right there, because we're about to get started. Alright, so here we go. We're in Lightburn now. This is the latest version, as you can see up there. This is the library tab down here, library, art library. Yours may be up here. It could be anywhere. Typically, I think when you first load it, it's going to be up in the top. I like to keep it at the bottom. You can pull these out, move them wherever you want, put them wherever you want. I like to keep them down here, so that's why I have them down here. So if you grab the title bar, this is the title bar, and you drag it any place you want. You can also make it larger, smaller, whatever you want to do. And then just drag it back to where you got it from. This screen over here will turn blue. Maybe not on all laptops. Laptops seem to have a problem with this, but once it turns blue, you can let it go. If you don't see the library, you can right-click on any title bar.
That was 10 passes.
And you'll see them in here. If it doesn't have a
100%.
check mark, that means it's not out visible. Just click on it to give it the check mark. You can also come up to the top over here where it says window.
Nope.
And in the window, you'll see everything that you have in here, visible on your work area. And you can check any of the things that you want. Now, while we're talking about the window, let's talk about something that a lot of people are confused about. When they see me do something like this and then put it into film mode, it fills on the screen. Well, that's because in the window, in the view style right here, I have this set to preview mode, filled coarse or filled smooth. If I put it in wireframe, that goes away. And what wireframe is for is basically working on the objects so that you don't have to go from fill to line. Because when you're in fill mode and you're also in filled here, the preview mode, you can't work with the object the same way. So I like to keep my view in either filled coarse or filled smooth. Filled coarse will use less system resources than filled smooth, and there's really no visual difference. So pick the filled coarse if you want to see the preview as you work. And
see what happens.
Where that comes into play would be, for instance, if you're doing, let's put this into line mode for a minute, and quickly just do an offset on it, like that. And now if we put it into fill mode, you can see what that looks like. You see? But it may not be quite as simple to work with, you see? So that's why you might want to have it in the other mode. I prefer to have this in filled coarse so that I can see what I'm doing as I'm working. I don't mind just turning this into line mode to work with it. So that's just a quick answer to a question that I get a lot. How come my screen doesn't look like yours? Well, there's all types of customization you can do to this, but let's get into the libraries. So now if you don't have the library, right click on a title bar, any title bar, and choose Art Library and Regular Library. So Art Library is exactly what it says, where all your art libraries are. Library is your cut and engrave settings. So let me give you an example. Let's come to the art library. Let's grab something, put it on the workbed like that. Okay? So there we go. U.S. Air Force. Now if we go to the library, we're going to decide here, what are we doing this on? And let's say we're doing this on Baltic birch. Now you have choices in here, and this one says no thickness. Some of the other ones I've actually put names on.
Okay,
no thickness.
this shit's hard.
So if I expand now, the arrows are expanders.
I gotta get regular
tree
wood.
expanders. If I click on this one, it expands it again, and there's engrave. Okay? So now if I come up here and I click on this in my cuts and layers and turn this blue, okay? And then click on engrave and hit assign to layer. Watch what happens right here when I do that.
Probably
Ready?
has a
3,
lot
2,
of fucking
1,
glue
click.
in it.
See what it just did? It assigned the appropriate speed and power to this graphic. It also put it into fill mode because that's what it remembers. But if we want it in line, we just put it back. It remembers all of the parameters. That's what a library does. So instead of having to run a test card, which, you know, really is the best thing to do, but instead of having to run a test card, once you've dialed in your settings, you can always come in here. If that didn't work and you found a better setting, you know, you lowered your speed, raised your speed, lowered your power, you could always come over here to edit and click on edit and change the numbers that you have here. If any of the libraries have a name associated with the layer, you can also change that and put a name in it that will appear right here. See where it says engrave? And all you have to do is say OK after you're done editing it. You have libraries for all different things. You also have libraries for different lasers. So I want you to notice that we are now on my 50 watt CO2. Let's choose, and I want you to watch right here, see where it says 50 watt CO2? Let's choose something different. Let's go to the P9 atom stack, which is not on.
Swiffer Sweeper dry cloths grab dust and hair and lock it away. Better than a broom. Love it or your money back.
It's not on the market yet, but so now you see Atom Stack P9,
I'm gonna try
and you're going to see Atom Stack M50 right here. So it loaded the library automatically for me when I changed layers. So now, if we were to do the same thing, and we were to bring out the same kind of graphic, let's bring this graphic back out. And now if we wanted to, we'll highlight the layer, and you'll see that that's definitely not right, is it? No, it's not. So let's come to the library tab. Let's go to, let's do basswood this time, and let's do engrave. And now this is highlighted. All we have to do is click assign to layer and watch the numbers here. 3, 2, 1, click. See what it did?
How thick is this?
That is my setting for basswood engraving in line or fill mode. Doesn't matter which one it is. Line or fill, makes no difference. So it automatically set that. Now if I wanted to cut that, let's say I wanted to cut it, here's the 2.5 millimeter one pass cut. Now I'm going to assign it to the layer. You see it went to 250 and 100 power. If I want two pass cut, watch again, it goes to 450 and 100. If I want three passes, I'll assign that to the layer, 650 and 100. Now you see how easy this is to use. So let's say that I was doing this on hardwood. Instead, if I come down here to engrave, click on engrave, assign it to the layer, you'll see that it changed, 3025. By the way, this is the M50 module. So for people that have been asking me, you know, the X7 Pro, all of the 10 watt modules that come from Atom Stack, they all use the same M50 laser module. So the M50 is now available on the forum. So now the question is, where do you get all of these art libraries, and where do you get all of these cut libraries for your specific laser? Well, that's a good question, Rich. Let's answer that real quick. So, here we are on my hobby forum. And one of the things that I'm trying to do right now is reduce the amount of emails, instant messages, you know, that I get, because I'm up to well over 200 a day now. Yesterday I went fishing and didn't get home, I guess, from 5 in the morning till about 11:30. So I hadn't looked at my emails since 9 o'clock the night before. I had 244 emails in my inbox, and I answer all of my email. So it took me half the day just to answer a whole bunch of easy questions that I'm going to answer in this video about libraries, the forum, you know, using them and everything else. So let's get back to this and focus a little better. So this is the forum, and you'll see here that there's all kinds of topics here, but one thing that's clearly missing is downloads. And I talk about you can download it from the download section of my forum all the time in my videos, but yet it's not here.
I think it's got
There's no
one more,
download
and that's
section.
it.
Why is that? Well, it's because I'm not logged in, and, well, I am registered, but if you've never been here before, you have to click on this link that says register. And that will take you to this page right here, where you can agree to these terms or not. It's completely up to you. So if for some reason, after you've finished your registration, okay, and I've changed this now so that you no longer have to worry about the pop-up blocker anymore, turning that off. So I've changed it to something that you have to fill out. And if for some reason you don't get your activation link, because you won't be able to use this until your account is activated, well, all you have to do is come back here to the main forums, go all the way down to the bottom where it says contact us, and send me a message, and I'll activate it for you. There's lots of reasons why you may not have gotten the email. So, you know, a lot of email servers will deny it because it's coming from a software script. But I can tell you that we have, this is a great resource center, by the way. We have 4,700 posts, 978 topics, 9,000 members. There's lots and lots of information here, lots of good people here, all types of hobby topics. It's a very valuable website.
Come on.
Once you've registered, you're going to log in, and I'll log in here. And now all of a sudden this appears. Members only files and downloads. So you won't see this if you're not a member. And membership is free, by the way. There's nothing for sale on this website unless you go to the flea market where you can post items that you have for sale. But you won't be charged for anything here. So now you see the members only files and downloads, and we'll click on that. And in the top is an announcement section where there are announcements, and you might want to read through these because they're pretty important, okay? And then you'll see topics over here. And these are all the topics down below. And here you'll see light burn cut and engrave settings for diodes, light burn art libraries, cut and engrave settings for CO2, and all types of templates and things that are in here. So let's start with the library downloads. Or actually, let's just start with the art library. How about that? We'll go right from the top. So we click on art library. The top notice here is for manufacturers. This notice here is just basically telling you all of the time that I've put into all of this, and you know, if you want to send me $1 or $2, I'd appreciate it. But this right here is the important thing. Folder organization is extremely important, and that's why I've got this highlighted in red. Everybody just blows right by this and wants to go straight for the libraries. But please, don't do that, because I've taken the time to write this. It's very, very important. You will be very confused after a month or 2 months if you don't follow these instructions. And it's very simple. You're just creating a folder on your desktop called Lightburn. We're going to do this together. Let's get this out of the way. So, here's the desktop. You create a folder like this. It says Lightburn. All you have to do is right-click, and, well, in Windows 11 you have to go to Show More Options and go to New Folder. It's that simple. That simple. On Windows 10, you just right-click and say New Folder. So, name that folder Lightburn. Inside this folder, Lightburn, which will always be right here on your desktop, inside this folder, you're going to create another new folder. And here we're going to call this one Art. Okay? And we're going to create another new folder. We're going to call this one Cut. Well, I'll call it Cut and Engrave. You can call it whatever you want. Okay, it doesn't matter what you call it. I'll call it Cut and Engrave. And then we're going to create one more new one, and we're going to call this one Templates. Okay? And then actually, I do one more, and I call it Settings. Alright? So when you change your machine settings, you want to save a copy of your settings before you change them. And we're not going to get into that one today. So now we have Art, Cut and Engrave, and Templates. So we're done here. We can close this. Now, let's come back to...
For a limited time, save $8 on Powerball.
the website. So now we've taken care of this. Now here's the instructions that we're going to go over for loading them. And I can't tell you how many emails a day I get from people that say, my files cannot be opened. And yeah, guess what? You're right. They cannot be opened. You do not open libraries. You must load the libraries. That's why this is highlighted right here. Installing libraries, please read. Every day, over and over and over again, I get the same emails. My computer's telling me there's no program associated with this. Well, that's because you didn't follow these clear instructions right here. So, now, let's figure out what laser do you have. Typically, you've got your 5-watt laser, which is called a 20-watt. So, let's run through a couple of these. So, you'll see here 15-watt. Alright, that's the LU15. Now, that one I use for both the 7-watt and the 15-watt. But here's a 7-watt as well, if you have a 7-watt laser, 15-watt laser, 20-watt laser. You can use any of these. When you see the name in front of it, like this ORTUR 20-watt, it doesn't mean anything. 20-watt is what matters. What this means is that ORTUR gave me the white papers on their 5.5-watt laser, what they call a 20-watt. And I've created the actual CLB file for Lightburn so that Lightburn can create a library, and I've transferred all of those settings into the Lightburn CLB. So it's just means that a manufacturer sent me those settings. Now here you'll see official NAJ libraries, and this is what I got from NAJ. This is a white paper here, and I've transposed all of these settings into the CLB file. So here you've got the N4630, you've got the A4640, the A4630. So these are the model numbers of your lasers. You can just look on the laser module itself to find it. If you have a ComGrow, this is the official ComGrow library here. You have the 10-watt and the 5-watt. Those are the only two models. If you have the AtomStack A5 Pro, well, then you have this library here, A5 Pro. Read these notes up on top because you'll see that it is not compatible with the A10, the Pro 50, or the X7 Pro. But tonight, just today, last night, I did do the 50 series, and this is compatible with the A10, the Pro 50, and the X7 Pro, and also the new P9 that's coming soon. I do have that one here in the shop on the bench, and I'm doing some testing with that one. Here's an additional note here, and this goes with all of them. It can also be used with any other 10-watt optical output laser. So you can use this for anything. So let's go ahead and grab one. Now, you can do this, and you'll get this pop-up window. Now, if you don't get this pop-up window, where it just saves it directly to your downloads, you don't want to do that. Then just right-click on this and do Save Link As. Some computers might say Save Target As. You know, just look for the word As at the end. And if we do that, then let's get out of the network. Let's go to all the way up here to desktop. And in desktop, we're going to go to Lightburn. And now you see here are the ones that I created. And we're in the cut and engrave settings here. So we're going to do that and say save. And there we go. And it starts flashing right away, which means the download's complete. And we have that file now on our computer. So let's jump back over into Lightburn. And now your library is going to be completely empty, okay, if you're just loading it for the first time. So all you have to do is click on this button right here that says Load. So let's do that.
Go back
let's click
again.
on Load. Now the first time that you do this, you're going to figure out what laser do you have. Typically, you've got your 5-watt laser, which is called a 20-watt. So let's run through a couple of these. So you'll see here 15-watt. All right, that's the LU15. Now that one I use for both the 7-watt and the 15-watt. But here's a 7-watt as well. If you have a 7-watt laser, 15-watt laser, 20-watt laser. You can use any of these. When you see the name in front of it, like this ORTUR 20-watt, it doesn't mean anything. 20-watt is what matters. What this means is that ORTUR gave me the white papers on their 5.5-watt laser, what they call a 20-watt. And I've created the actual CLB file for Lightburn so that Lightburn can create a library. And I've transferred all of those settings into the Lightburn CLB. So it's just means that a manufacturer sent me those settings. Now here you'll see official NAJ libraries. And this is what I got from NAJ. This is a white paper here.
Okay.
We got kind of lulled into thinking that silicon's the end-all of electronics.
For sale. But you won't be charged for anything here. So now you see the members-only files and downloads, and we'll click on that. And in the top is an announcement section where there are announcements. And you might want to read through these because they're pretty important, okay? And then you'll see topics over here. And these are all the topics down below. And here you'll see Lightburn cut and engrave settings for diodes, Lightburn art libraries, cut and engrave settings for CO2, and all types of templates and things that are in here. So let's start with the library downloads. Or actually, let's just start with the art library. How about that? We'll go right from the top. So we click on art library. The top notice here is for manufacturers. This notice here is just basically telling you all of the time that I've put into all of this, and you know, if you want to send me $1 or $2, I'd appreciate it. But this right here is the important thing. Folder organization is extremely important, and that's why I've got this highlighted in red. Everybody just blows right by this and wants to go straight for the libraries. But please, don't do that, because I've taken the time to write this. It's very, very important. You will be very confused after a month or 2 months if you don't follow these instructions. And it's very simple. You're just creating a folder on your desktop called Lightburn. We're going to do this together. Let's get this out of the way. So, here's the desktop. You create a folder like this. It says Lightburn. All you have to do is right-click, and, well, in Windows 11, you have to go to Show More Options and go to New Folder. It's that simple. That simple. On Windows 10, just right-click and say New Folder. So, name that folder Lightburn. Inside this folder, Lightburn, which will always be right here on your desktop, inside this folder, you're going to create another new folder. And here we're going to call this one Art. Okay? And we're going to create another new folder. We're going to call this one Cut. Well, I'll call it Cut and Engrave. You can call it whatever you want. Okay, it doesn't matter what you call it. I'll call it Cut and Engrave. And then we're going to create one more new one, and we're going to call this one Templates. Okay? And then actually, I do one more, and I call it Settings. Alright? So, and that's for when you change your machine settings, you want to save a copy of your settings before you change them. And we're not going to get into that one today. So now we have Art, Cut and Engrave, and Templates. So we're done here. We can close this. Now, let's come back to the website. So now we've taken care of this. Now here's the instructions that we're going to go over for loading them. And I can't tell you Let's start with the library downloads. Or actually, let's just start with the art library. How about that? We'll go right from the top. So we click on art library. The top note, pretty important, okay? And then you'll see topics over here. And these are all the topics down below. And here you'll see Lightburn Cut and Engrave settings for diodes, Lightburn art libraries, Cut and Engrave settings for CO2, and all types of templates and things that are in here. So let's start with the library downloads. Or actually, let's just start with the art library. How about that? We'll go right from the top. So we click on art library. The top notice here is for manufacturers. This notice here is just basically telling you all of the time that I've put into all of this, and you know, if you want to send me $1 or $2, I'd appreciate it. But this right here is the important thing. Folder organization is extremely important, and that's why I've got this highlighted in red. Everybody just blows right by this and wants to go straight for the libraries. But please, don't do that, because I've taken the time to write this. It's very, very important. You will be very confused after a month or 2 months if you don't follow these instructions. And it's very simple. You're just creating a folder on your desktop called Lightburn. We're going to do this together. Let's get this out of the way. So, here's the desktop. You create a folder like this. It says Lightburn. All you have to do is right-click, and, well, in Windows 11, you have to go to Show More Options and go to New Folder. That's simple. That's simple. On Windows 10, you just right-click and say New Folder. So, name that folder Lightburn. Inside this folder, Lightburn, which will always be right here on your desktop, inside this folder, you're going to create another new folder. And here we're going to call this one Art. Okay? And we're going to create another new folder.
See if that makes a difference.
We're going to call this one Cut. I'll call it Cut and Engrave. You can call it whatever you want. Okay, it doesn't matter what you call it. I'll call it Cut and Engrave. And then we're going to create one more new one, and we're going to call this one Templates. Okay? And then actually, I do one more, and I call it Settings. Alright? So, and that's for when you change your machine settings, you want to save a copy of your settings before you change them. And we're not going to get into that.
It's the only thing I changed.
So now we have Art, Cut and Engrave, and Templates.
Alright,
so we're done here. We can close this. Now, let's come back to the website. So now we've taken care of this. Now here's the instructions that we're going to go over for loading them. And I can't tell you how many emails a day I get from people that say, my files cannot be opened. And yeah, guess what? You're right. They cannot be opened. You do not open libraries. You must load the libraries. That's why this is highlighted right here. Installing libraries, please read. Every day, over and over and over again, I get the same emails. My computer's telling me there's no program associated with this. Well, that's because you didn't follow these clear instructions right here. So, now, let's figure out what laser do you have. Typically, you've got your 5-watt laser, which is called a 20-watt. So let's run through a couple of these. So you'll see here 15-watt. All right, that's the LU15. Now that one I use for both the 7-watt and the 15-watt. But here's a 7-watt as well. If you have a 7-watt laser, 15-watt laser, 20-watt laser. You can use any of these. When you see the name in front of it, like this ORTUR 20-watt, it doesn't mean anything. 20-watt is what matters. What this means is that ORTUR gave me the white papers on their 5.5-watt laser, what they call a 20-watt. And I've created the actual CLB file for Lightburn so that Lightburn can create a library. And I've transferred all of those settings into the Lightburn CLB. So it just means that a manufacturer sent me those settings. Now here you'll see official NAJ libraries. And this is what I got from NAJ. This is a white paper here. And I've transposed all of these settings into the CLB file. So
I can't find the fucking shit that you're talking about.
Email. So it took me half the day just to answer a whole bunch of easy questions that I'm going to answer in this video about libraries, the forum, you know, using them and everything else. So let's get back to this and focus a little better. So this is the forum, and you'll see here that there's all kinds of topics here, but one thing that's clearly missing is downloads. And I talk about you can download it from the download section of my forum all the time in my videos, but yet it's not here. There's no download section. Why is that? Well, it's because I'm not logged in, and well, I am registered, but if you've never been here before, you have to click on this link that says register. And that will take you to this page right here, where you can agree to these terms or not. It's completely up to you. So if for some reason, after you've finished your registration, okay, and I've changed this now so that you no longer have to worry about the pop-up blocker anymore, turning that off. So I've changed it to something that you have to fill out. And if for some reason you don't get your activation link, because you won't be able to use this until your account is activated, well, all you have to do is come back here to the main forums, go all the way down to the bottom where it says contact us, and send me a message, and I'll activate it for you. There's lots of reasons why you may not have gotten the email. So, you know, a lot of email servers will deny it because it's coming from a software script. But I can tell you that we have, this is a great resource center, by the way. We have 4,700 posts, 978 topics, 9,000 members. There's lots and lots of information here, lots of good people here, all types of hobby topics. It's a very valuable website. Once you've registered, you're going to log in, and I'll log in here. And now all of a sudden this appears. Members only files and downloads. So you won't see this if you're not a member. And membership is free, by the way. There's nothing for sale on this website unless you go to the flea market where you can post items that you have for sale. But you won't be charged for anything here. So now you see the members only files and downloads, and we'll click on that. And in the top is an announcement section where there are announcements, and you might want to read through these because they're pretty important, okay? And then you'll see topics over here, and these are all the topics down below. And here you'll see light burn cut and engrave settings for diodes, light burn art libraries, cut and engrave settings for CO2, and all types of templates and things that are in here. So let's start with the library downloads. Or actually, let's just start with the art library. How about that? We'll go right from the top. So we click on art library. The top notice here is from manufacturers. This notice here is just basically telling you all of the time that I've put into all of this, and you know, if you want to send me $1 or $2, I'd appreciate it. But this right here is the important thing. Folder organization is extremely important, and that's why I've got this highlighted in red. Everybody just blows right by this and wants to go straight for the libraries. But please, don't do that, because I've taken the time to write this. It's very, very important. You will be very confused after a month or 2 months if you don't follow these instructions. And it's very simple. You're just creating a folder on your desktop called Lightburn. We're going to do this together. Let's get this out of the way. So, here's the desktop. You create a folder like this. It says Lightburn. All you have to do is right-click, and, well, in Windows 11, you have to go to Show More Options and go to New Folder. It's that simple. That simple. On Windows 10, you just right-click and say New Folder. So, name that folder Lightburn. Inside this folder, Lightburn, which will always be right here on your desktop, inside this folder, you're going to create another new folder. And here we're going to call this one Art. Okay? And we're going to create another new folder. We're going to call this one Cut. Well, I'll call it Cut and Engrave. You can call it whatever you want. Okay, it doesn't matter what you call it. I'll call it Cut and Engrave. And then we're going to create one more new one, and we're going to call this one Templates. Okay? And then actually, I do one more, and I call it Settings. Alright? So, and that's for when you change your machine settings, you want to save a copy of your settings before you change them. And we're not going to get into that one today. So now we have Art, Cut and Engrave, and Templates. So we're done here. We can close this. Now, let's come back to the website. So now we've taken care of this. Now here's the instructions that we're going to go over. for loading them. And I can't tell you how many emails a day I get from people that say, my files cannot be opened. And yeah, guess what? You're right. They cannot be opened. You do not open libraries. You must load the libraries. That's why this is highlighted right here. Installing libraries, please read. Every day, over and over and over again, I get the same emails. My computer's telling me there's no program associated with this. Well, that's because you didn't follow these clear instructions right here. So, now, let's figure out what laser do you have. Typically, you've got your 5-watt laser, which is called a 20-watt. So let's run through a couple of these. So you'll see here 15-watt. All right, that's the LU15. Now that one I use for both the 7-watt and the 15-watt. But here's a 7-watt as well. If you have a 7-watt laser, 15-watt laser, 20-watt laser, you can use any of these. When you see the name in front of it, like this ORTUR 20-watt, it doesn't mean anything. 20-watt is what matters. What this means is that ORTUR gave me the white papers on their 5.5-watt laser, what they call a 20-watt. And I've created the actual CLB file for Lightburn so that Lightburn can create a library. And I've transferred all of those settings into the Lightburn CLB. So it's just means that a manufacturer sent me those settings. Now here you'll see official NAJ libraries. And this is what I got from NAJ. This is a white paper here. And I've transposed all of these settings into the CLB file. So here you've got the N4630, you've got the A4640, the A4630. So these are the model numbers of your lasers. You can just look on the laser module itself to find it. If you have a ComGrow, this is the official ComGrow library here. You have the 10-watt and the 5-watt. Those are the only two models. If you have the AtomStack A5 Pro, well, then you have this library here, A5 Pro. Read these notes up on top because you'll see that it is not compatible with the A10, the Pro 50, or the X7 Pro. But tonight, just today, last night, I did do the 50 series. And this is compatible with the A10, the Pro 50, and the X7 Pro. And also the new P9 that's coming soon. I do have that one here in the shop on the bench, and I'm doing some testing with that one. Here's an additional note here, and this goes with all of them. Can also be used with any other 10-watt optical output laser. So you can use this for anything. So let's go ahead and grab one. Now, you can do this and you'll get this pop-up window. Now, if you don't get this pop-up window where it just saves it directly to your downloads, you don't want to do that. Then just right-click on this and do Save Link As. Some computers might say Save Target As. You know, just look for the word As at the end. And if we do that, then let's get out of the network. Let's go to all the way up here to directly to your downloads. You don't want to do that. Then just right click on this and do Save Link As. Some computers might say Save Target As. You know, just look for the word As at the end. And if we do that, then let's get out of the network. Let's go to all the way up here to desktop. And in desktop, we're going to go to Lightburn. And now you see here are the ones that I created. And we're in the cut and engrave settings here. So we're going to do that and say save. And there we go. And it starts flashing right away, which means the download's complete. And we have that file now on our computer. So let's jump back over into Lightburn. And now your library is going to be completely empty. Okay, if you're just loading it for the first time. So all you have to do is click on this button right here that says load.
Almost.
Now let's do that. Let's click on load.
But it's fucking
now
burning.
the first time that you do this, you're going to have to come to your desktop, and then you're going to come down here to Lightburn, and you're going to come to Cut and Engrave. And there it is right there. That's the one that we've just downloaded. So I'll either double click on that one, or I'll single click on it and say,
okay, go back.
all you have to do is click on this button right here that says load. So let's do that. Let's click on load. Now the first time that you do this, you're going to have to come to your desktop, and then you're going to come down here to Lightburn, and you're going to come to
Cut
and Engrave. And there it is right there. That's the one that we've just downloaded. So I'll either double click on that one, or I'll single click on it and say open.
Load.
And now you see it loads the Atom Stack M50.
Desktop.
So let's go back again, and let's load the ComGrow 10 watt. So I'm going to click on this. This time it's going to remember, because we were just here where to put it. So all I have to do is say save. And you see it flashes right away, means that it's finished. So we'll come back to Lightburn, and now I can click load again, and there's the ComGrow 10 watt right there. And all I have to do is say open. Now I want you to also notice that these go with the laser. So if I were to switch to the, let's switch to the ORTUR 7 and 15 watt. Take a look at what happens here. It automatically saves them with the laser. So if you have multiple lasers, you can do multiple downloads. Okay.
Need to find the perfect gift? Maybe for an engagement, or even an anniversary. Or how about a birthday? Well, don't panic. Gift Mode on Etsy is here to take the stress out of gifting. Now, with just a few taps, it's easy to find incredible gifts made by independent sellers for anyone and any occasion. With new features making gifting fun for both the gifter and the recipient. So no matter who you're looking for or what you're celebrating, shop Gift Mode now, new and on Etsy.
Get $7,500 purchase allowance on most 2024 Cadillac Lyric models.
Let's try that.
Okay, let's go back and go back one step here, and let's go to the art libraries this time. So let's click on the art library downloads, and again, same instructions are here. We're going to do the same thing. So let's grab this animals art library, and we're going to either click on it or right click and say save as. Now we're in the wrong folder. We want to save it on the desktop, Lightburn, art. Okay? Click save. And let's do another one while we're in here. Let's do cartoons and just click save. And you know you can do this really quickly. Just keep saying save now because it remembers what folder we're in, and you'll see that they're all downloaded now. So back to Lightburn. We're going to come to the art library, and if I were to, let's just get rid of everything here and start with a clean slate, okay? This is what your library will look like. Nothing, if you've never loaded a library before. So we're not going to say new, we're going to say load at this point. And we're going to click load, and we're going to click on Lightburn, this PC, desktop, Lightburn. We're going to go to art, double click. Now at this point you can either select one or you can select all of them just by dragging.
I don't have money for air assist.
You can also click on the top one, hold down shift.
Actually, I could make my own. I just don't have the money.
Also select them all. And if you do that and say open, watch right here. It populates them right here in your art library.
An air pump.
So now you have all three of these libraries installed and ready to use. So now, let's do it. Let's go from start to finish. So we're using the 7 and 15 watt. I keep these two together because they're very, very similar. There's not very much of a difference between the two. So let's bring out Alvin as an example. And I'm going to scale him down by the corner just by dragging him like that. move them onto the work plane. Okay, so there we go. We have Alvin. Now all I'm going to do is come to my library. I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do this on. So I'm going to do this on cardboard, engrave, come to cuts and layers, make sure it's highlighted.
Is it mine?
Watch it
No.
here, assign to layer, and you'll see speed 50, power 100. And that's it. Now if I come to cut, I can assign that to that layer, speed 3.3, power 100. You see how that works? If I wanted to cut this out, in other words, which I wouldn't, absolutely. I want to be doing the engraving here. So, now if I switch lasers, it will also switch the libraries. That really is all there is to it. One thing you really want to do is keep your desktop organized. And take, if you use Lightburn and you laser a lot every day, take and put it somewhere where it's in a spot where, it's obvious, easy to get to, and make sure that you keep yourself organized. Now, I've been around computers probably longer than most anybody. I started working for IBM back in the late 70s and worked for them for a few years on the PC. It's been a long time, so I've learned over the years. Everything I've done over the years in computers has always been part of my career, and I've learned that file organization is paramount.
I need one that blows out a lot of air.
You'll lose a lot of time doing your work. You won't be productive.
Do they make them
unless
with
you know
controls?
what every file is. So try and organize things by folders and
like
files.
Control the air?
And your libraries are simple to use. Let's go back over to the discussion board one more time. And I just want to warn you that some of the libraries that you might get, very possible that they're going to be ungrouped. So be careful when you...
I think Michael should get a laser burn.
Always check it, and if it's ungrouped and you move something wrong, just hit the undo button. But when you start using libraries, and there are tons of look how many pages of
yes they do. Where
I've put thousands of hours into this, and this is a free resource that anybody can use, and it's very, very simple to use, and it's not like Facebook. Don't think that you can create a post and put @RichF, and I'll see it, because I won't. If you really need to talk to me, you can click up here, and
the worst he could do is burn his finger
and send me a private message. You can do it right here too. So, this is not like Facebook. There's no drama here.
Where are they?
And if there is any drama, it goes away very quickly.
See, you couldn't fucking tell me this
all information that you're going to
last
use
week
with your laser, and it's all good information. If you have problems, there are lots of people here that will help you resolve those problems. If you need an idea for something, there are lots of people that are going to give you ideas. It's just a great focused group that's unlike any of the others. And yeah, I've got the Facebook group, and I've got the Facebook page and the Instagram page, all that kind of stuff.
The only one I got to cut was
this
75.
This is a real resource,
at 100.
unlike the others. And the purpose of this is what my motto says right here: to inspire,
is there air hose with it?
Learn and teach. And that's why I do this, is inspiring, creating, learning, and teaching. And I teach a lot of stuff. I learn a lot of stuff from other people. I get feedback in the comments on the videos that cause me to rethink things and do things differently. And this is my hobby, and I'm enjoying my retirement hobby, and this is how I'm doing it. And I spend a lot of time doing this, so I hope you all appreciate this. I know you do. I mean, I get tons of emails every day from people telling me how much they appreciate it. So there is a Start Here section if you want to jump over into here. And there are a lot of topics here This is like where you would put general things, how to ask for help, changes to the forum, settings. You know, these are general questions that you can put in here. But if you have a general question for, let's say, diode lasers, then come over here to see where it says Hobby Diode Laser Engravers. Click on there. This is where all of the questions and answers are going to be for all different types of lasers. So if you can't find an answer here, you're not going to find it anywhere. And here's probably one of the best features of all. So let's say you wanted to search for an AJ. You had a question about an AJ. Well, just hit search. And you're going to get all kinds of results about the AJ in here. As you see, an AJ A40 to 640. All types of different questions and answers. And which makes this so easy to use and such a great resource. My goal is to make this forum the #1 resource center on the internet for hobbyists, with a focus on obviously lasers. We have diode
not gonna
lasers,
fucking
CO2
use Home
lasers,
Depot
fiber
card to
lasers,
get a fucking
you know,
hose.
and as the shop grows here, the hobby shop, there'll be more types of lasers as well. And if you wanted to have your own separate hobby, just let me know. I mean, there's a flea market here. There's woodworking. You know, show off your creations if you want to show off your work. There's all types of
Yeah, I know. I gotta go to bed.
different topics here that you can participate in, and I hope that you do. But
Oh, fuck.
Poly mailers are a great way to package your products. And with sticker
No,
mail, ordering
it's a
custom
task.
poly mailers has never been easier or faster. Our custom poly mailers can be printed in full color and shipped within 4 days or less. Each poly mailer is durable and tear resistant, allowing you to ship your t-shirts, products, or startups in your custom mailers all over the world. To get started, select the size and quantity, upload your artwork, then breeze through checkout. Within a few hours, we'll send you an online proof showing how your custom poly mailers will look. You can request changes to the proof for free until you're happy. With easy ordering, fast delivery, and print runs starting at just 10 units, Sticker Mail is the internet's favorite place to get custom poly mailers.
But the important thing in today's video was about learning how to set up, organize, and use Lightburn libraries. And I hope that we've achieved that today. And I hope this will eliminate a lot of questions that I get by email every single day, 7 days a week. It's not that I don't like getting emails from people, but the same exact questions I get every single day, and that, my computer can't open the file.
Okay, bring it tomorrow.
It's probably the #1 email I get every single day.
Okay, I'm going to bed.
So, I'm
Good night.
hoping that this video.
Good fucking night. You got until the laser kicks off. Okay, laser kicked off. Good night, people. Have a good night. God.